My backyard is not much to look at. It's pretty neglected, and that's because it's pretty much a strip of dirt that grows some grass and weeds in the springtime, and my dog uses it as a dog run. So we're gonna try to fix that today, and it all starts with a tractor.
Excellent!
Today's video is brought to you by Lexar's NM790 NVMe SSDs, providing lightning-fast storage for the latest generation of gaming and workstation PCs. Featuring a high-bandwidth PCIe Gen 4x4 interface, broad compatibility thanks to the M.2 2280 form factor, and capacities up to 4 terabytes with sequential read speeds up to 7,400 megabytes per second, the NM790 makes no compromises and is conveniently available with or without an integrated heatsink. It's also a perfect pairing for Lexar's stable, reliable, and efficient THOR DDR5 memory kits too, so click the sponsor link in the description for more.
This is a Kuboda L2501, powerful enough to tackle a wide range of projects, yet nimble enough to provide the precision that I can't read the rest of this sentence because I can't scroll over on this PDF file for some reason. Featuring a powerful, clean-running Kubota diesel engine, enhanced operator's deck, select HST transmission with 4-wheel drive or gear drive and 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. This tractor has, I'm going to estimate, like 50,000 horsepower of torque. And as you can see, Hana is demonstrating its operation here for us. So I'm joined today by my brother-in-law Alex, who's like, he's the one who knows what he's doing here. He works for LA County Fire, and he has a lot of experience driving tractors and doing a lot of groundwork and stuff like that. Joe's here to help as well. Hi Joe, thanks for being here. Hana's gonna provide some moral support, and we have a pretty basic plan. All this like dirt that grows weeds, we're gonna clear it away, get rid of it. And we're gonna do grading. So like I give this like a D plus right now, I think. It's a grading joke. Yeah, that's good. Okay, grading. So we're gonna like level it off. Certain areas are gonna be lower than others to help with drainage, and that's gonna set us up to eventually, not in this video, do some planters and some trees and other things, so that things are alive and growing back here instead of dead and just being a spot where Nori comes to pee and poop. Tractors are awesome. I love tractors. We've only been working for, I don't know, between 2 and 3 hours. We've gotten so much done. And if you're looking at this, like Paul, it was dirt before and now it's still dirt. Let me try to show you exactly what we're looking for here. Because we've got patio, of course, and that was probably poured, I don't know, a long time ago, many years ago. The dirt is much higher. So here you can maybe see, with it graded down, how much lower that is compared to where it is here. What we want is for runoff water to go and pool in this area over here where we're going to make a spot for it versus going onto the patio. We've reached that point in the day. Cheers. Here we go. Let's go see what we accomplished. I should say Alex. Alex did most of the work. Or perhaps the Kuboda. The Kuboda did. As you can see, my backyard, which was a rectangle of dirt before, is now a rectangle of smoother dirt, cleaner dirt. It's much more uniform looking, and there are not a bunch of weeds. But let's talk a little bit about our plan, because we do have like an actual plan for this yard space. We're gonna put some planter boxes over here. We're gonna do like 3 trees that bear fruit so that we can have fruit on trees that grows in our backyard. And we're gonna have some planters scattered around as well. The planter boxes over in the corner, we will probably grow like vegetables and other things to eat. And on the far side over here, we're hoping to have enough space that we might park like a 5th wheel or a camper or something like that. And in terms of grading, we needed to really trim down the topsoil here, and I don't know if you can tell, but we've taken off probably between 4 to 8 inches depending on what area you look into. I can tell a lot when I look at it from inside the house, because this now looks like more concave, like it goes down versus convex before where it was kind of bulging outward. But we're gonna be doing like mulch and decomposed granite for walkways in certain areas, stuff like that. But for right now, we're mainly focused on the grading and the drainage. So you might have noticed there were some existing sprinkler lines that started to come up over here, and in fact we dug them up over in this corner, although they've been covered over again. Those are pretty old and we weren't sure about their status because it's from the previous owners, but we decided we're probably going to run our own line, so we need to redig a few trenches once the grading is all the way finished. And then keeping the soil at the level we want is going to help us with drainage. So we're going to have 3 main low points where the drainage happens. One is right here, and that needs to be dug down a little bit deeper. One is right over here, and then the third one is actually just on the other side of the tractor there. We're super happy with all the work that we got done today, but one thing you might have noticed is there's still a big pile of dirt there in the corner because we had too much dirt. We filled up the dumpster out in front. We have more dirt. We decided to pile it up here so that we can get a smaller tractor to move that to another dumpster, because we're going to get a new dumpster once Waste Management hauls the current one away. And we will be continuing some work tomorrow to try to establish some trenches and further smooth out some areas where we need to rake some dirt into place and move some stuff around. So this video is not quite over yet. Day 2. We got this far yesterday. The big pile that was over on this side has been relocated over to that side until we can get a second dumpster to put it in, but we'll need some more time from Waste Management for that. Hannah has discovered that it's like a big sandbox out here now. We also discovered digging down that we actually have some like decent soil there underneath sort of a shale layer, so that's promising for planting some trees.
Come over here, camera. Look at the dirt.
Hannah wants to show you this dirt right here. Look at that. Oh yeah. Hannah's getting dirty. She's 5, so she likes the dirt. Right, so stage 2 for today is getting water back here properly, and for that we're going to be doing some sprinkler systems, but our only like hose access back here since we moved in has been one spigot that we have right over there. So we want to run a main line down here all the way across the front of this patio and over to that side so we can have a spigot over there. We're going to be laying in some additional piping, tubing, so we can break that off for the other flower beds and stuff when they get installed. It's funny, we cleared all this dirt, so not easily yesterday, but very efficiently. And now we've just been digging this trench here. Like, it's so much more work doing it by hand. But Alex has a great idea. Since we still have the Kuboda, they're gonna pick it up on Monday, even though we called it in that we were finished yesterday. We're gonna take advantage of this machine, even though it's far too big to be digging some trenches. We do need to take this and extend it to go out to the front of the house and around to meet up with the other sprinkler control units. So Alex had a great idea. We're gonna use just one of these tines and try to drag it along here to help ourselves make our last ditch a little bit easier. It's a last ditch effort.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Oh yeah,
It's real nice now.
dude. Wow, yeah.
It's like, oh, this is the best. They're picking up the Kuboda today. We'd like to keep it longer, but it does have a rental fee attached to it. This thing has really made me appreciate like the advances that came with the Industrial Revolution, which you don't really appreciate as much until you've like, oh yeah, labor-saving devices. As someone who doesn't do blue-collar work very much, like very much appreciate like exactly how much time this saved, getting so much of this cleared away. In case you're wondering how it works though, we got a pedal down here, which if you rock forward is for going forward, rock back to go backwards. Steering wheel pretty straightforward, turns the wheels left and right. This here controls the front bucket to go up or down, and then going left or right will tilt the bucket forward or backwards. And one more lever down here, and that's for the box in the back, just to lift it or lower it or set the height. There are other controls like that thing there that we weren't really sure exactly what they do, but fortunately this thing is actually pretty easy to drive and maneuver. I had a lot of fun with it, but eventually we kind of defaulted to Alex doing a lot of the driving of the tractor because he's just got a lot more experience, so it was a lot more efficient for him to do it that way. I especially liked his idea of flipping one of these tines down to help us out with digging some of these trenches. So thank you for all of your hard work, Kuboda. Time to say goodbye. And then we moved on to day 3, which was actually a few days after day 2, and that gave waste management enough time to come by, take the dumpster, empty it, and return it, because as you might have seen, we had way more dirt than we anticipated. We also re-rented the Kuboda on this day because we were gonna get something smaller like a Bobcat, but the Kuboda was just way faster, and this time we got a fancier one. It was a little bit newer. It even had the sunshade on top, which is a nice addition. It's a bit of a back and forth figuring out the rental situation, because if we had kept it, we would have been paying the daily rate. So we actually had to return it last week, and they brought it back again this morning so we can move that dirt, and also we're going to use it to break through the sort of upper shale layer that's on top of the soil here, which has a lot of rock in it. That'll help the trees, once they're planted, to be able to sink their roots down and get to the better soil that's down underneath. And apart from that very vital tractor work, getting that second big pile of dirt cleared out as best we could, we were also handling irrigation on this day, running the very long trench around the back patio so we could get water down to the far end of the yard where we want to have some planter boxes and also, of course, just a spigot. Progress on the main line, getting fed back here. We're able to continue using a lot of the sprinkler control units that existed here. We're adding a couple more so we can have 3 zones to control in the back. And Alex just cut in here to separate this off for the main water line, so this will be on all the time. That's the one that's going to be with the PVC here. And then for the other sections, we're going to use this, which is drip line. Very flexible. This ditch was a big pain in the butt to dig out because there are roots from the palms around here, just like everywhere. But we now have our main line, and then we have 4 additional lines going back for the different zones that we're going to be irrigating back there. And my mom has been helping to color code these. We're using the electrical tape. You guys recognize the electrical tape? That's the same tape we used in the Scrapyard Wars video. I still have it. So color coding these 4 lines, they're going to connect to 4 of the control units here. Because for today's video, we want to get to a point of completion where we can cover over the ditches and everything, and where if we can't do any more work for like a few weeks, things will be okay. So the main line going back for the spigot, we want to get that one finished off. These 4 lines going to water different areas and different zones in the backyard, we're going to be stubbing up at various points out in the backyard so that we can continue that work at a later date. And I was just using some zip ties on the 90-degree fittings here. These are just barb fittings, just to help keep those on more securely since we are going to be burying them. We trim our zip ties because we're not savages. Yeah, lovely. Very nice. Down here at the other end of the line, Alex is working on the spigot, and we're going to be attaching to this to the wall here too.
Yeah, if you just want to kind of hold it right there. And get one of these at a time.
Bite, damn you.
Doesn't want to bite.
Yeah. Let me see what I've got in terms of...
Like a washer or a
or maybe
anchor?
Just longer screws or wall anchor.
Yeah, I think wall anchor might be our best bet.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. Anchor.
So, I wish I had one more strap, but we just kind of kick it. So we'll have to do another strap for this one.
Okay.
But that's like minimal stuff, dude.
Yeah. That's pretty easy to apply after the fact.
I'm gonna start cleaning out this area. It's gonna get wet and muddy pretty soon.
Time to test the water. Oh! Might have a leak. Well, there's your problem. I don't think that joint got glued. There. all glued up. Just give it a minute to dry. All right, let's try this again.
That's big, open it up.
Here we go. Oh, oh, look at that.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Give it a second, it's working through its stuff.
It's like money pit.
Look at that line. Anyone want to jump in? Cool off.
I'm gonna play with this ball though.
It's probably pretty hot water.
This one's kind of cool though.
Got rained on a bit. Sorry.
We're leaking a little bit from the spigot.
Oh, I didn't close it all the way. Oh, okay. So I need to get a pipe wrench and close that.
Oh yeah.
The deal.
It might be the gasket is rotted out,
Oh.
which would suck. But I have another. No, I don't have another. I have another spigot.
Oh.
I like the brass ones way more though.
Would it be hard to get another gasket?
So let me show you what I have.
This guy was leaky, so we're replacing it. This one. Doing another test. Hey, look at that. Water.
What on earth? Still doing it?
Oh, I just didn't turn it hard enough. Okay.
Put more.
But it's not coming out around the seal or anything.
No.
No, looks.
I want to make sure that that clamp
off to
stops
me.
in a minute.
I mean, it's very slow.
Yeah, let me,
You know, it gave a little bit. The other one just felt like it was like
Yeah.
really hard. And
so it's
this,
off, huh?
yeah, and I didn't crank it really hard. I just cranked it a little bit.
I love it.
Water on. Water off.
Beautiful.
Cool.
All right.
The final thing we wanted to do in phase one was paint our back wall because it's sort of an awkward color. It's sort of a pinkish, reddish. I'm told terracotta is the actual name of this color, but we wanted it different, something that would match a little bit better with the upper wall and the two side walls. So I finished off day 3 by power washing this entire back wall, which was actually kind of satisfying. It had a lot of built up gunk on it that came off very nicely with the power washer. And then we had to add day 4 because we weren't anticipating needing to prime this back wall, but then we read up a little bit more on it and thought, yeah, actually we probably should, especially for some of the areas where water has seeped through from the yard up above us. Some of these bricks back here are pretty pockmarked, so getting the primer into those grooves took a bit of extra work, but is going to be very important for making sure that the paint stands up to the test of time. Unfortunately, day 4 was pretty miserable because it was pretty hot, so I got the easy up set up pretty quickly. That helped things out. Added a fan in there, and with some help from my wife later in the day, we were able to get the entire wall primed, which set it up for the next day, Sunday, when we had some family able to come help us out for the final paint job. All right, guys, it's day... What day is it? I don't know. It's a tired day. We managed to get this wall primed yesterday, so today we're gonna paint it, which is basically like priming it again, but with paint instead of primer. Fortunately, we've got some additional help here. My wonderful sister and brother-in-law are back. And you know, painting kind of sucks, but gotta get it done. So that's what we're gonna do. And now, I think we have pretty much done as much work as we are going to do in this video. Let me give you guys a tour of where we have gotten to, and I feel like there's a couple ways to describe this. One is that, look, we had a square of dirt before, a rectangle of dirt, and now we still have a rectangle of dirt, and we dug a trench and we painted a wall. Isn't that exciting? Another way to describe it is that we relocated more than 12 tons of material from the backyard here in order to provide an ideal environment for irrigation and growing of plant and bringing life into the world and stuff like that, because that's our ultimate goal. But apart from the irrigation, the long run that we did over there, so we now have a spigot, as well as the remaining tubes here for running irrigation once we get some plants put in. We have the back wall, of course, which is looking nice and pristine, freshly painted. And I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but we have been putting down some lines in the ground for where stuff's gonna go. We're gonna have planter boxes over here. This is spray paint on dirt, which is why it's kind of faded, but the green circle is the canopy for a tree that's gonna go right here. The orange is where we're tracing out a path, which will kind of circle around over here and end at the wall over there where we'll put a bench. We're also gonna have an area right here for some seating, or maybe we'll put a little fire pit. And hopefully you can tell these lower areas here are meant for water to run off to. So we got one over there, we got one over here, and a slightly smaller one down at that end. And because the spray paint on the dirt wasn't holding quite as well, we've pegged out the path a little bit better with some flags as well. So as opposed to some other projects that I've done where we've gotten a contractor and done all the work relatively quickly, this project is going to be spaced out over the next couple months because we're not going to be buying a bunch of plants and planting them. We're going to be propagating some plants to try to grow them from smaller plants. But of course, before we even get to that part, we need to do the DG and the compost. And the compost is going to need to set for a while so that the little worms and stuff can start mixing that in with the soil below it and everything. My sister knows all about this stuff. That's why she's been really helpful with this project. But you might be wondering, Paul, how much are you spending on this? The answer is about $3,274 for this first phase. That is about $1,210 for the tractor renter, $275 a day, plus $330 for delivery. The dumpster from Waste Management that holds 6 tons plus is $740 for each time they haul it away, so that's about $1,480. And the paint was just shy of $600, about $584 for the primer, which we ended up having to not use 2, but 4 gallons for. Then we got a 5-gallon bucket of the actual finish paint, and we do have some leftover of that in case it's needed. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I wanna say a big thank you to my sister and brother-in-law, of course, Gretchen and Alex, because they've done so much to help us out with this project. Thank you guys for all of your expertise and all of your hard work. A big thank you to the rest of my family as well for coming and helping out at various times. Huge thanks to Joe for not only helping out on the first day, but doing a lot of work to get this video edited with lots of footage. And of course, a big thank you to you guys for watching this video, since I know it is not my typical tech-related content. So if you enjoyed the video and you want to hit the thumbs up or leave me a comment in the comment section down below, that's greatly appreciated. I've got more tech videos coming at you real soon, and I will be following up on this project as it moves along. We're probably going to need another month or two to get on to the next phase and actually show you some work that's been done. That's all for this one though, you guys. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.